Tri-State Sports Leader. This is WGEM Sports.
In Quincy, the Blue Devils were hosting QND in the Crosstown Soccer Showdown. Both teams looking to add another win in one of their regular season games of the season. Raiders goalkeeper Carter Hankins up first in the highlight reel, laying it on the line for the QND defense. He'd keep that up as the Blue Devils try to head this one in off the corner hit kick, but Hankins is there to keep another save and keep things scoreless, but that wouldn't last long as Nico Hetzler boots this one from about 35 yards out, sailing into the back of the net. That would give the Blue Devils their first goal of the night, and they loved every minute of it. Trace Ruth right here coming up, setting this one in, and the camera gets confused by the action as Camel Riki finds the top corner for the net for another Quincy High goal. Quincy Notre Dame would have a strong second half, and this one would end in a 3-3 tie. Football started a little early this week for us. Unity Payson taking on Beardstown under the lights. It was a packed house in Mendon today, and I tell you what, the Stan gang got it right after it from the jump. How about some defense? Beardstown facing fourth and short, but Unity Payson's D-line coming up for the big turnover on downs. Trying to score up the points off the turnover, Sawyer Allen rolling out and finds Skylar Guchel over the middle. He would take this up the sideline for the big-time gain. But the Mustangs unable to finish off the drive. It wasn't until later they got the offense moving. Sawyer Allen again with a deep shot to Kendall Knox deep down the sideline, and the duo connects on the long touchdown reception. Unity would strike first. Beardstown would respond right after, though. They'll hand the rock off to their running back, Carter Davis, and he has a big hole up the middle, and nobody was going to catch up to his speed as he takes it across the goal line for the long rushing touchdown for the Tigers. Allen Company, though, they would get right back to work. Quick slant finds Cole Ray just short of the goal line, and then to cap off the drive, they'll give the ball to Johnny Keefe on the direct snap, and he'll find the end zone. Mustangs look great today, and they would get the 26-12 victory over Beardstown. And other softball action in Missouri, North Shelby gets the win over Monroe City 19-6. Louisiana gets by Mark Twain 14-3. How about this score? Highland defeating Knox County 22-0 in 3 innings. Volleyball action now. Brown County gets by Rushville in 2. Quincy High defeats Galesburg in 2 sets as well. And then up in Iowa, Holy Trinity Catholic gets by Burlington Notre Dame 3-1. We have